In today's video, we are going to be comparing this $88 vintage thermal waffle knit Henley from Buck Mason to this $155 vintage thermal waffle knit Henley from Imogene and Willie. And I'm going to be telling you why I think this one is worth the money and this one's not. In the last month, I've found, and this is my first point for this shirt, that if it's marketed as a thermal, it should act as a thermal. Now, what I mean by that is it should keep me warm and it should wick away sweat and help to keep me dry. I've wore this as a standalone as well as a base layer with multiple different types of jackets, coats, tops, the Relwyn Winzip popover, and this just doesn't do the job that a thermal should do. It does not keep me warm, and the sweat just stays in this. Now, to get into the nitty-gritty of this shirt, it is a 250 GSM French rib cotton double knit with a waffle knit face and a jersey material interior. I don't like this. I have a lot of sensory issues, and when a shirt is like slick like this on the inside, I can't stand it. I don't like it. It may be for some people, but for me, I don't like it. And especially as a base layer, this is never going to keep you warm. As a thermal, as a true thermal, like it says right here, this is not going to keep you warm. As a standalone or even as a base layer, it's really, really hard for this material to breathe. Also, the other issue that I have is this is a very thin, small waffle knit, and it almost feels cheap. I wish that if it was truly vintage, it would reflect the waffle knit on the back as well. The other issue, and probably the biggest issue that I've had with this shirt over the month of testing, is my very first two wears. I brought this home, I washed it, gentle, cold, hang dry, put it straight in my closet. I don't know if you can see that, I have a thread pulling right here. I have a thread pulling right here. I have several buttons that just feel very loose, and the stitching is actually loose on this button. I know it's probably hard to see, but as I move the button, the stitching is just going up and down. This back, you can already feel it starting to unravel a little bit. The same with this one, you can actually see the stitching starting to come apart at that button. Same on the front. For something that's $88, this should not be happening. Now, I will say my last complaint and my compliment, and I'll give my compliment first, is that this shirt is super soft. It is relatively comfortable. With that, it does wrinkle incredibly easy. I've had this hung up, and you can see all the wrinkles through it. Even after running a steamer over top of it, it has wrinkled just in the little bit of time that I've been filming this video. The sizing is another thing, but it's weird with both of these. So I wear a medium, typically in tops. I'm 6'1", I'm like 180 pounds. I am comfortable in a medium shirt. This is a large. The Imogene and Willie is a large. So their sizing is a little wonky. The medium fit in terms of sleeve length, in terms of the neck, and in terms of the body. This actually has a little bit more movement in the body than what I want for a base layer thermal waffle knit Henley. The length, the medium was up over top of my pant line, and I don't care what trend is happening. I am not wearing a crop top t-shirt. It's just not happening. Now, one thing I forgot to add that I do want to bring up is this is made in China. For a brand that talks heavily about being inspired by vintage, kind of American military wear and that general aesthetic, You would think this would be made a little closer to home, but on the website it just says imported. And when you go to the imported section, it just talks about their mills in Italy. It talks nothing about being made in China, but that's what the tag right here suggests. Okay, so this is the thermal vintage waffle knit Henley from Imogene and Willie. Now, until I bought this piece, I've never bought anything from them. And I was a little hesitant because of the price, and I'm still hesitant about the price. I mean, that's the one negative thing about this shirt. Is it worth $155? Yeah, I think so. But to me, to somebody else, it may not be. And I think if you're looking for something like this, if you want to just go cheap and have something just to throw on for one look or something like that, sure, go with the cheaper option. But I was looking for this as kind of a single statement piece, something that I could wear consistently as one standalone shirt for years to come. And I've found it. I did tons of research. I went through tons of brands, Seeger and Filson, Amazon, and this is what I ended up on as kind of the apex thermal vintage Henley, and it checks all of my boxes. I mean, I had specific criteria when I was looking for this. It had to be off-white. It had to have 3 buttons. There could be no pocket. It had to be a waffle knit. It had to be marketed as a vintage thermal waffle knit Henley. I'm getting tired of saying that. But this one literally checks all of the boxes. The fit is about the same. It is a little more boxy, which I do kind of like. Same issue though. I wear medium, this is a large. This one is maybe a quarter of an inch longer in the body. So if you're looking for an extra quarter of an inch, I've heard that can be a lot. Looking at the material that this shirt is made from, this is, I mean, they've done everything right. We have that vintage feel. If you remember vintage, like old school long johns that like our parents or grandparents wore, they have that same material on the inside as the outside. None of that jersey suede bullshit that you see on the other shirt. And this provides so much extra breathability and moisture wicking properties. This does what it's supposed to do. This is my go-to base layer now. I love this shirt. I live in this shirt so often because it's so versatile and I paid so much money for it that I have to wear it. This is made though in the USA. It's patterned, cut, and sewn from 15-ounce 100% cotton fabric. I love that. 15 ounce, it's heavy, it's durable, but it's also so soft. Like I said, I genuinely do enjoy wearing this shirt. So for me, it was worth the $115. Now, as it warms up, this is my go-to. Shorts, the new Birkenstocks we bought in the last vlog, the Relwyn Winzip popover is absolutely amazing, and obviously my cat and hat is kind of a go-to staple right now. But like this just, it's comfortable. Having this nice thermal base layer that really does do a good job of keeping you warm and breathing, evaporating, wicking away that moisture, however you want to say it. This, on those days where you have cooler mornings, hotter days, cooler nights, being able to pop this off and have the thermal underneath that can stand alone is just, this is the perfect outfit for me when I'm going to be out. Obviously, I wouldn't wear this to like a nice dinner or a date or whatever it may be, but this is kind of like my comfort outfit. This is what I wear when I just want to go out in the middle of nowhere, not talk to anybody, and just be comfortable. Okay, so there you have it. That is my maybe too far in-depth analysis between these two thermals. And if you're looking for either one, I have linked them in the description below. Obviously, my recommendation is if you can afford the $155 one, go for that one. If you need to save up a little bit, that is going to be your better option, in my opinion, every single time. If you're dead set on only spending the $80 to $90 or something less, Filson has one. I don't think it doesn't have 3 buttons, it's just 2. And Seeger has one. I'm pretty sure it has a pocket, and it may not be waffle knit. Outer Known has one that has pretty decent reviews, but it's in like the 120 range. Um, Honestly, the Imogene and Willie, it ranks in all of my criteria. It ranks in quality, it ranks in comfort and fit, and it ranks in price. There are ones you can get that are far more expensive than 150. Some of them make the 150 look like a $20 Amazon one. So it's all relative to what you're willing to spend, and honestly, take any of this with just a grain of salt. I mean, I am just giving you my opinion, and every clothing channel is doing the same thing. Outside of the factual information of what the materials are, and who produced it, and where they produced it, it's all just opinion based. So if you have my same criteria and kind of my same aesthetic and vibe, then the Imogene and Willie is definitely going to be the best choice for you. We have a video coming up this weekend, another weekend vlog. We are taking the Relwyn WinZip Popover. I've never done a proper review of it. We're going to take it out to Bainbridge Island, hang out for the day. It's supposed to be semi-decent weather, so I'm going to show you this as kind of a top layer piece and just have fun out on the ferry for the day. So if you like this video, make sure to hit subscribe, hit like, and I will see you over the weekend.